when it is up, especially in a game 2. If you couldn't get it in game 1, you probably want it in game 2.
And Ezreal's already been played, and Bard is already off the table as well for the Caitlyn Bard answer. Maybe there's another Caitlyn answer.
Do you think Bvoy might just take the Ashe? Because I know we've been seeing more teams do that, where they try to split the combo. Because some players I'm talking to, I was kind of asking them about this, and they feel like Ashe is the better half of the combo. Some people feel like Seraphine is the better half of the combo, but instead, we are going to get Corki, Nami, which I hate this as an answer. It just loses every time, it feels like, to Ashe Seraphine. It feels like it's worse in the early game, worse in the late game, doesn't track the jungler, has worse engage. It just feels just plain worse.
Yeah. That's why I'm always trying to sell different Caitlyn iterations.
I'm with you. I'd rather see Caitlyn.
I like those ones, but with the Bard was already used, and that's definitely one of the best. Gryffinn is very happy with this. And I know a lot of teams are, because FlyQuest, I know Gryffinn is really always happy when every jungler is, obviously, when you have your Ashe Seraphine.
You have the map hacks.
You've got your map hacks, but you also have a crazy team fight, and it allows Gryffinn loves to play, you know, Nasus and Mundo and these champions that are kind of slow moving and benefit a lot from having a big Seraphine, you know, enchanter on your team, and Ashe to give you initiation and slow people for you and stuff like that. So it enables a lot of jungle picks. So he's probably quite happy for it. But we also have straight up just had LCS coaches say, yeah, these are just some of our best champs. Like I think Spawn, after the first time that Team Liquid was given Ashe, Seraphine, the Yone plus Rumble, you know, combination was like, oh yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that the enemy can do. Like they just give us a lot of the best stuff.
I mean, they're kind of playing blind pick on FlyQuest side. It feels like through the first couple. Yeah,
I mean, you get a Rumble, so they could do a Yone comp if they wanted to. They could throw a Jarvan in, never Jarvan's bans. Can't throw the Jarvan, but you could throw in any other AD jungle anyway to the mix here, and you're still gonna have a very good team fight. On the side of Shopify here, though, I feel like they're going to be the ones under the extra pressure to make burst damage happen. So they have the Aurora here, and it is a flex. You know, you can play it into the Rumble, no problem. Quite good, actually, into the Rumble, or they could rotate it mid if, you know, Zinie does want it. And they're going to ban the Sylas as well. They don't want Sylas stealing some of these, you know, big ults. Fair enough. They've got a lot of really good ones. And maybe that does signal, too, that they're thinking that, you know, Fudge really does want this nice Aurora into Rumble matchup on the top side. Regardless, the engage is so critical when you're playing against Ashe and Seraphine, so they locked the 5.
So I wanted to look up these stats and check them, because I checked them a week or two ago when we were talking about it on the dive. I was talking about this matchup because I felt like Corki Nami always loses. So I just checked the updated stats. Ashe Seraphine against Corki Nami, 79.3% win rate in pro play.
To the Ashe and Seraphine.
To the Ashe and Seraphine.
Yeah, almost an
80% win rate.
That about checks out.
They also have an average of 265 gold ahead at 15 as well for the Ashe. So it's like you lose early, you lose late. We'll see if Shopify can become the 20%.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for.
Show all those stats, nerd.
Yeah.
Show them.
Everything's 50-50. You win or you lose.
We were talking as well about Gryffinn's jungle champion pool. Of course, he has played the
jungle,
the Shen jungle before, and he's going to do it again. Also, for people thinking, oh, does that make you low damage? Shen's got some good damage items that he can build as well, with Titanic and Dusk and Dawn being very effective on him, though Gryffinn usually goes the really tanky build anyway. And
you have a damage top. You have a damage top laner, so you know, I would be more worried about it. They did do a game, I think, where they played Shen and then like a Sion and stuff like that. Like if you do like Shen, Sion, Jhin or something, okay, like, buddy.
Give me a Titanic, Dusk and Dawn type thing, but. Yeah, he likes the Protoplasm Harness regardless, because it is a really early item power spike. And you can actually put some pressure out on the Vi. So let's take a look here. Honestly, I still feel the same. Like FlyQuest side is just way better.
Yeah,
nothing later on in this really changed my mind.
No.
My only kind of hope for Shopify is, hey, you can make some bursty plays with Vi and Aurora and like burst someone down, but then they have a Shen ult.
Yes.
So you're always like, ah!
It's a good thing the other team doesn't have any.
Buddy.
It's got some AP scaling on there as well. Russia Death Cap, you know?
I'm with you.
You could do it.
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
You get your Dusk and Dawn and your Death Cap.
Yeah.
For Shen.
Well, just for the ult.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest of the time, you're getting beat up by the Raptors because you're not clearing that camp. Well, we'll see what Gryffinn can get done. He did bring it out once in the LCS already. It was a pretty quiet game. It was in a win, if I do recall. Yeah, it was in a win. But the game wasn't really about him. You know, he was kind of just slowly farming, and the game was kind of naturally won on its own, it does feel like. But that is kind of the nice thing about Shen, is that you are not forced to make proactive plays a lot of the time. You can just kind of power farm, get vision, look for counter ganks, and respond to plays that the Vi is going for, where the Vi, I feel like, especially with the rest of the team comps taken into consideration, has a lot more pressure to do stuff.
Here we go. Talk about pressure onto the Nami.
Well, that's not good for the Corki Nami, and now lethal tempo is stacked, and Massu just stepping forward here. They are getting absolutely cooked at level 1.
Can we get a picture of the FlyQuest families? Let's see how the moms are feeling about that trade, because that is looking pretty good for Cryogen and Massu on the bottom half of the map. Of course, Bvoy does have cleanse for later, so you're also like fighting lane phase down the combat summoner, so it makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, maybe later you're like, oh, thank God I have this cleanse, or else I would have got, you know, CC'd from 100 to 0 by Ashe Arrow and Seraphine ulti.
And Shen taunt and charm and
yeah.
Cleanse is pretty needed.
It's good, but
you wish you had something else for now.
You wish you could have like 3 summoner spells.
Yeah. Little summoner spell book, you know? But also, that's terrible too.
Can I get 2 keystones then, sir?
Yeah. We'll file that alongside the Death Cap Shen, you know?
Yes.
Brilliant off-meta builds.
Our dark technology.
You just wouldn't get it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit too
that you
too
wouldn't
advanced.
understand folder that we have.
Yeah.
The I understand.
Exactly.
But maybe not you. Okay, so Fudge getting some deep proxy here. Gonna get some early timers for movement, and he knows Shen clearing down to the bottom side, so he's very free to do this. You can get your recall early, and you can get some earlier time to move up. Oftentimes, I like when top laners will ward the Krugs when they go for that journey, so you can see the exact time for the second clear for enemy jungle, and he leaves a little ward here that doesn't quite see all the way in, but.
And proxying in these situations is always great, but I think it's even better when you're going Doran's Helm instead of Doran's Shield, because that is more of the scaling item. So if you can just kind of avoid the lane, this is the greedier buy compared to the Doran's Shield. So, generally, like, the math that I have seen is that it's kind of just like flat better past level 5, and he's almost level 5. Obviously, it is just a starting item. It's not that big of a deal, but it is cool to see you're going for the more scaling route as far as your starting item, and then you're just avoiding the lane phase. And
they do have Contractz coming up here, and the ward does see Gryffinn, because Gryffinn was walking down for possible lane hover there, so he passes through. Contractz now passes over 1, and we're going to have a confrontation on top side and bot.
Yeah, Bvoy does have the cleanse, elects not to use it, now has to flash away as in flash Cryogen, trying to put the pressure onto him. Massu and Cryogen both low, Seo's still full health, but Bvoy definitely in some trouble here.
Yeah, so flash from Gakgos, and on the bottom side, flashes from Cryogen and Bvoy with the heavy trading going on.
Massu almost has his barrier again, too, but he might just die to Seos. The shield comes through there from Cryogen. A couple seconds away is Masu's barrier. I think that's why they're trying to fight this so hard. They know they almost have the barrier. He's stepping forward now. It's about to come up. He has the flash. Will he commit it? Doesn't feel like he had the range to finish him off.
So close there, too. If Cryogen's beat drop had just tagged the Corki there, he had just applied the Ashe slow. Massu got him with the volley, and so that could have been the setup there. They're really looking for the angle, but Bvoy and Seos do escape. They are definitely down in CS, but they have not been killed in lane just yet, so that's good.
Facts. They're also up a tier. And the glowing moat. There's no glowing moat on the Ashe.
Holy moat, my favorite item in the whole game. Man, actually, this is crazy, though. Just Berserker Greaves is really nice for Ashe. The chase down is already insane, and you stack your lethal tempo, and the extra positioning here from the mobility really helps with this duo to be able to apply the slow and set up the Seraphine for some combo plays. But Contractz goes into the back of Dragon. He's like, all right, this is our timer. We're going to get it. Your Ahri is walking from base, so I'm going to be able to take this Dragon very quickly. Vi is very good at doing even early Dragons. No problem with denting blows, and very nice stuff for him. So that Vi will be progressing towards level 6 quite quickly, and maybe we'll be able to find a bursty little play for himself to get a first blood. Gryffinn, though, does have the opportunity to traverse to the top side. He's pinging on the top side Scuttle Crab, and since he's got Quad moving with him, should be able to use his solo laners to help him in his efforts to get this crab and get the level 6. Fudge, though, he knows the importance here. He's going to bluff, I guess.
Yeah, he's coming over here, but Gryffinn will be able to secure it. Zinie having a really good laning phase, you know, getting the push there onto Quad, getting the faster level 6, you know, help them to get that Dragon. And, you know, good to point that out because obviously did struggle in that last game. Contractz is still here around. Did he cancel his base or not? Massu going forward here with Cryogen, and they're just going to chase down Seos and Bvoy. Seos probably going to have to flash here. The bubble does land onto Massu, did not flash it, so Seos can hold on to his own flash. Honestly, FlyQuest are lucky that the recall timing there was not canceled because Contractz was recalling right at that moment, maybe a second or two later, and they probably could have gotten killed there. But here is Zinie, you know, his progression from lock-in to spring. He is getting a bit better. You know, it's still not the performance that I think people necessarily expected when he was first going to come over. A lot of people that I had spoken to were very hyped about him. Some coaches that I had talked to were saying he's really being overhyped. They had seen him in scrims and in tryouts and didn't think he was, you know, as hot as people were talking about. But that being said, he still
names.
has...
I think we need to...
Here on the live broadcast, I will be outing my sources. Yeah. Unless you PayPal me.
I love it. We've got open extortion.
It's the best time to do it, you know?
Honestly, yeah.
I like my extortion good and honest on a live broadcast, you know? I keep my extortion above board.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. And that's extorted.
Zinie, of course, didn't have the best first game. We were talking a lot about the any positioning, so he's definitely looking for a bounce back, just even within this series.
Hey, he's up 11 CS.
There you go.
There's the bounce.
The bounce. He's back, baby, and he's playing Aurora, bouncing all over the place.
Yep.
How fitting. All right, well, honestly, now it's even going to be harder to get the first blood because you have a lot of the counter-engage stuff available too, you know. The Stand United, Griffin's just basically waiting. He's like, Contractz, where's he going to go? I'm just ready
dare you.
with my Guardian Shen ult is going to be the answer. And so it just allows, you know, Massu and Cryogen to continue to play very aggressively. All right, this cannon, let's watch. Yeah, he's going to be able to get it.
Yep.
Trying to create some tension here because we have no kills, and it's just going to be more objective trading. And once again, just send Contractz up to those grubs, take another objective for Shopify, and FlyQuest will just continue on farming.
Soul Lane's did a good job for Shopify, though, this game, you have to say. You know, nice little advantages for both of them. Fudge, you know, in this matchup, generally you are expected to be down a little bit on the Ksante into this Rumble. Of course, Rumble now going Deathfire Touch these days. It is no longer the first strike that we had mostly been seeing, though some Rumbles did go Comet. Bvoy going to be pushed back here as Seos has to use the wave just for disengage. As again, FlyQuest pushing forward here, and now Zinie up towards that top side. They are looking for this Rumble. Fudge goes all out, but it's a double taunt, and it's first blood there for Gryffinn. Quad now coming in. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow not going to connect. They're looking for Contractz. Flash, charm, kill. Quad gets another as Gryffinn will pull back here and be able to survive. FlyQuest respond beautifully to the Shopify play and get a couple of big kills. There's the Encore coming out. Can the Root follow it up? They don't have it just yet. Massu not available to be able to finish that one off. Didn't have the damage quite yet. Used the Crystal Arrow on that top side. Had he saved it for bot, maybe could have got a kill right there.
True. Always focus on your own lane. Quit sending off stuff to other lanes. Except for Gryffinn. You know,
unless they pay you.
Yeah. And if they're not paying you, dip into some extortion.
Yeah. You want a crystal arrow up topside? Yeah. I'll be taking your next 3 waves, buddy.
But we were just talking about, all right, Gryffinn is just waiting to use this Shen ult. And what better opportunity than them going for a 3-person gank onto Gakgos. The Guardian Shen ult is enough to keep him alive. Gakgos had a good, you know, Rumble ult and then flashing himself to safety there as well. And then that also bought time for Quad to make the roam up to the top side. So It's even better than that. And the FlyQuest coaches are celebrating already. I don't think it's too early, actually.
You thought about it. And we get to hear the thinking live.
Was that handshake? They were like, all right, we're going to pay off Azael. They both agreed right there.
Well
like,
done.
You know what? It was honorable extortion.
It was us, yeah. It was us.
Yeah.
They got outed.
Yeah.
Thank you know for the PayPal.
They're like, fair is fair.
Fair
we'll
is
do
fair.
it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, FlyQuest at 1.3K here.
Have we ever caught a handshake from the coaches?
I don't think so.
That was.
I kind of like that.
They're like, genius draft.
Well
guys.
done. Well done. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we agreed with them. We're like,
yeah.
They blasted them here. They're like celebrating 10 minutes into the game.
When you first picked the Seraphine, blew my mind.
Wow.
Crazy.
And then Apollo, when Gryffinn was pleading with you, please, Shen game, please. And you said, all right, fine. If you ult during the first Vi ult.
Well, Fudge going to be ulting now, looking for Gakgos. The Rumble Equalizer does come down. The footwork from Fudge trying to stay alive. The Pathmaker going to get sidestepped, though. And Gakgos has a solo, and now comes the Stand United. Here's the bad news, Contractz. You're going to die as well. It's going to be 2 more on the top side here for FlyQuest.
Handshake was right on time. You know, they knew it.
Shake it again.
Man, that Shen ult is up real quick, buddy.
Yeah.
Right back up and available just when you need it.
That glowing moat, nothing you can do about it in the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Save for bot lane this time. Greed rewarded there by FlyQuest as they're going to chase in for Bvoy, force out that flash. And this is just a pummeling in game 2, 5-0, 3,000 gold lead here for FlyQuest as they are running away with this one.
The Guardian has blocked 356 extra damage so far for Gryffinn. And honestly, Gakgos was getting quite low in some of these exchanges, so nicely done. I mean, FlyQuest now with a 3K gold lead, they truly feel like they have this one in hand. Hex Optics here finished for Massu on the bottom side off of that kill. Very nice.
Bvoy got greedy, didn't actually go home, and Quad punishes him for it. FlyQuest bot lane was going mid, Quad moves down towards bot, and Bvoy overstays there, does get punished. And that Guardian, like you said the numbers, you know, they don't sound that big, but that can be the difference between you arriving with Stand United or not. Yeah. When you play a lot of Shen, I love Shen, and this champion, it can be so frustrating. The cooldown is so long. When you pop that Stand United, they barely don't survive. So Guardian can make the difference, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. In the last one, I feel like Gakgos was down to like 150 HP or something like that. So
let's see it.
Yeah, let's take a little look-see here.
Let's count the HP, and if they're wrong, you can extort the observers to cut the replay short.
True. Solve all your problems that way. All my interactions with all humans. Okay, so Fudge getting burned down. Notice he's also going to dash back onto the Rumble ult at the end here and burn down to Gakgos. And then as soon as the Vi ult is in there, boom, that is a big old shield. And then he has a scrap shield too.
That's about 150 health.
Yeah.
But the shield's expired.
Exactly.
Oh, there's Shen ult?
We can change the story.
My bad. Sorry.
I mean, that's what we were talking about with the pretty early Shen ult. Another reason for rushing the Protoplasm Harness. Very cheap, and you get your 20 ability haste very quickly into the game.
Yep, very effective there as the gold difference at 14, you know, that's looking a bit tough there for Fudge. Hasn't had the best laning phases, you know, and it is one of these things where at least Gakgos is something that he's standing out on, you know, not dying isolated. He is playing well with the team. But on carries, he has just been a different beast. You know, he's able to just make so much action happen again here on the carry, looking really good for the team. Still undefeated this whole split on carries, and now looking for Zinie. Does overheat. Zinie going to go between worlds, though. Gakgos may have overstepped, but again, in comes the Stand United. Zinie put incredibly low. Contractz there, though, to peel. Zinie has to flash out. Gakgos can't really back up Gryffinn. But maybe some more FlyQuest members will be able to move up. Gryffinn winning out on this fight. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming through. They pushes him back right into the taunt as he sidestepped one way, gets caught the other. Cryogen going to be looking for him. Zinie going to get spotted over the wall on the recall. They're pushing in, but Zinie will TP back and cover Contractz.
Okay, a lot of resources used on the top side. Still seeing a rotation over. Look at the little hover. I guess they're not actually going to continue the move, and just going to be a disengage for now. Dragons are evened up.
Fudge looking for a quad there. Can't find him with Pathmaker. Will be able to survive, but quad will be sent back to base. Has the teleport available, so not too big of a deal.
Shopify. What can we do? I mean, there is a Herald up, so...
Oh, Massu's behind Bvoy. The flanking Ashe, the wave gonna come out. Maybe bit off a little bit more than they can chew. Massu's gonna have to flash. The heal comes out as well. So that's a play going bad for them. And now Contractz is here. He's gonna look with the cease and desist. In comes Zinie, the encore there to try to peel a bit, but both the FlyQuest bot laners do fall. Good play from Shopify.
There you go. Create some action. Massu here walking real aggressively into lane, and Shopify do take advantage. Shen ult is not back up for this one, and they're able to actually convert on some kills, get some money back for themselves. They did commit a lot of people, though, so quad unattended at the top side, gets a little bit of alone time. Still, though, they chop down on the lead a little bit.
And that brings Bvoy right back to even with Massu, so that is pretty nice, getting the Corki into a good position. Going to be important this game for sure, as someone's going to have to do some sustained DPS, and it really is just kind of Bvoy who that is going to be up to. And if Shopify could find that right fight, you know, it is definitely possible. There's lots of squishy members here for Zinie and Contractz to potentially burst down, but of course, it is not going to be easy with all the answers that FlyQuest have for the counter engage and to really stop so many of these picks that they have been looking for.
Yeah, definitely going to have to tread lightly, choose your moments very cautiously here. Right now, though, lane assignments are just fine for them. Kanik Rooker in here for Fudge, plus the Merc Treads, because obviously double AP solo laners, so Ksante is giga stacked on magic resistance for this stage of the game. At the moment, trying to trade into the Rumble here in front of Power. Still kind of getting burned down.
Bvoy, nice little chunk there onto Massu, getting healed back up by Seos as well, as they're going to try to look for more. FlyQuest, though, looking to start up this Herald. Zinie going to get spotted in that pixel brushing. Contractz was spotted as well as he walked by that river entrance. Shopify do have mid-prio, though, so that's going to push the Shen out the back of the pit.
Yeah, Massu's got to be very careful with his positioning after not having flash from the previous mid play, so he's got to wrap all the way back around the tower, and Shopify move in. Looking to convert here on the objective, but FlyQuest, they're flanking.
Ooh.
Quad here from the top.
The Enchanted Crystal comes out, that goes wide, and Massu is so incredibly low. Bvoy has just been peppering with rockets. Zinie, though, getting caught potentially. Gakgos on the other side, cooking up a lot of members. A good equalizer down onto Bvoy as Gakgos gets pulled across the world here. Quad looking, does get one kill as they're able to knock down the Vi. The Rumble has fallen as well. Zinie trying to retreat on the side. He's battling against Massu. Might have the damage, doesn't quite. Fudge, though, looking for more. The charm going to land onto Bvoy. He gets immediately cleansed, and Quad dies for his sins. The two-man charm there does come through off of the taunt from Gryffinn, but Gryffinn has no taunt. He has no way out. You have to think he's going to get knocked down, and Massu doesn't have the health to help him. FlyQuest do lose the fight at the end of the day, just barely. It's a 3-for-2 for Shopify.
They scrap it out, and they want more. Oh, Bvoy no Valk, but he should be fine.
Be able to survive. That was a tough fight for FlyQuest. Massu was just so low before it really even broke out. He was down to, what, 30% health from Bvoy as he walks in.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again, because they make the little flank here, but Zinie's able to get out for now, jumps away, Fudge goes in, gives him the shield. Here, though, the ult's in, and the Seraphine ult just barely shorts and is not able to bounce off of his head, so the Seraphine ult doesn't get value. Even with that, they kill off Contractz. You see Massu here on the right side, barely living to your points, and still kind of has to get out of the fight. Then the re-engage from Quad is just a little bit too much. They still have a very beefy front line there with Fudge, and plenty of burst damage from the Corki just pops him.
Yeah, I feel like had Massu not been so low at the start of the fight, you know, he could have played a lot more aggressively, but because he started the fight at about 30% HP, it was very difficult for him to ever enter, and they just didn't really have the consistent damage to deal with those frontliners. We're back to live, and they're engaging in onto Cryogen. Contract's going to get stunned up. The wave coming across multiple members as FlyQuest are getting wiped here. It's a double already there for Bvoy. Make it a triple on the Corki as 3 FlyQuest members just get deleted. Quad is hanging around here. He's going to go in over the wall. They're looking with the equalizer as well, trying to take out Zeus, but he just flashes out, pops his heal, survives. They get the dragon, and maybe they're going to head for Baron too.
Yeah, definitely. Get over there. Make this comeback real. I mean, they could circle around and look for tower plates as well. Bvoy.
The charm landing, and Quad going to have to flash out away from that rocket as Bvoy almost had him.
Okay, death timers are really low still. Again, a little overhypey, but I will say, maybe the handshake was too early.
Preemptive handshake.
You know what? Maybe it was. Look at the approach. Contractz in here with the Q flash, and then he ults through everybody. So Massu, look at Massu just got locked up. First, there was 0 auto attacks out of the Ashe with a really good engage from Shopify. Contractz makes the big initiation. The team follows up instantly. And they open up the objective for themselves. Really good engage from them. Meanwhile, afterwards, FlyQuest trying to salvage the play a little bit. Zeus does flash away from the Rumble ultimate here after the engage from Quad. And okay, yeah, some fist bumps on the pumps on the other side here for Shopify coaches. They're not celebrating too early, but they are happy with the result.
The meta's getting fleshed out. It's handshakes versus fist pumps. You know,
be a little bit more conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Massu just lost half his health instantly there. And that was through the Seraphine shield as Bvoy is well and truly fed. Now has the Serpent's Fang done to boot, so full item up on where Massu is at this point of the game. And I mean, that engage was just so sick from Contractz. The Q flash, and then the ult through 3 people, so triple knockup. Then Zeus has a wave over the top that also knocks up 3 members. So beautifully done there by Shopify, utilizing that playmaking. They are not done with this game just yet, but they are in a way better position. And oh my God.
That is a big one right there. A very big one.
Very big one.
And I have to say, Serpent's Fang versus this team is the best buy. Like, Shen shields are huge. You even have Scrap Shield on the Rumble, not to mention the lane that you're playing against, the Seraphine here. So, very, very good and efficient cheap buy.
Fudge going to go all out onto Gakgos. Gakgos trying to sidestep as much as can. He does it, sidestep that 1Q3. Not able to sidestep there, though, and the Stand United comes through. Fudge is incredibly low. Griffin's looking. The Crystal Arrow does connect. The taunt comes in, but it doesn't matter because Bvoy has arrived first. The cavalry comes in from Shopify, and they're the ones again getting a kill.
Oh, even with the Shen shield going down, they try and re-gauge, get him into position, but nicely done. Contractz collapses. They get the kill. Shopify are rallying here to push us to a game 3, and they're making it look really good. Bvoy is incredibly rich. He hasn't even spent since the last time we were talking about him. Now on top of that, gets solo tower gold down here. Of course, it's just the rest of turret plates. Solo towers are not what they used to be on the previous season where all the gold was in, the end of killing a tower, but still extra gold and quite nice.
It is very nice indeed. And that is back-to-back games now where Bvoy was kind of the hope for Shopify. He was Giga-fed 6-0 on the Ezreal. Now he's 7-1 on the Corki. He's having a couple of monster games here, and we'll see if they can seal the deal on this one, as it looks like he's got that zeal off the back of those fights. He has the Gluttonous Greaves in as well, so going to be stacking that up. The wave comes out on the Cryogen, forcing the flash, as Bvoy is just taking every fight he can find. This guy is ridiculously strong, and Contractz at one point was down 2 levels to Gryffinn. He is now fully caught up. They are pushing the side lanes. They're in a great spot here. Quad trying to split push and get something back, but Massu and Cryogen have been completely taken out of this game.
All right, the split push continues. Bottom side tower does go down, but same thing's gonna be attempted to answer here on the top side. Gakgos will slip in, and the rest of the team for Shopify are recalling, but Zinie does not care. He's going to try and finish it before Gryffinn gets here, and even with him on the ward, no problem. So they do answer that tower as well. 50 seconds left on the next dragon. So nobody blow your flashes anytime soon. Good dodge on the Ashe arrow here for Zinie. He attracts a lot of attention, and Shopify are going to have an open route here. Big poke damage onto Massu, and the dragon setup is going to be very easy for Shopify. I think FlyQuest have maybe even already made the call, hey, it's fine, just keep split pushing, and maybe we just counter jungle top side a little bit instead. It's very dangerous for them to go over to the dragon, so they're going to try and make a top side play instead.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to look for a dive. I mean, Bvoy, one big one with the Mandate and the Nami E was enough, and now Zinie going to be in some trouble. Goes across the Veil here, but he has been burned incredibly well, and I don't think he's going to get out of this. Goes across the Veil, but nowhere to go after that. Tries to go between worlds and get out, but he was already down to 10% HP, so Gakgos is able to claim the solo kill. They take the tower. They do lose their tier 2 in mid lane in trade for that, but it's a nice kill, and they're actually just going to start the Baron here. They're TPing into this. Contractz on the other side of the map trying to do the Dragon, but look at that poke already coming out from Bvoy. They're going to have to turn on to him. He has Cryogen low already. Fudge now has arrived with the teleport. Quad is looking for the flank on the side. It's going to be up to Quad. He goes in. He's going to look for the charm. He flashes forward. He charms the Nami. He's going to try to burst him down. The Stand United comes through, but the bubble was great. They're focusing down Fudge. He's slowly dying. Gryffinn taunts him, but Contractz has arrived. He's going to the back line. He's looking for Massu. Massu flashes out. Contractz trying to finish him off. Fudge flashes over the wall. Gryffinn taunts the safety. Gakgos is incredibly low. FlyQuest trying to make it happen. The equalizer comes back up. Fudge is burning, barely survives with the footwork there. Seos getting a heal down on him as well. And now Zinie is back. He finds Quad, flashes away there from what he thought was a charm, but the charm I think is still available. Goes across the Veil, and it's just the reset after reset. Popping off here in the back line, takes down multiple members. It's just Gryffinn now. He is running for it, but he's got nowhere to go. That is going to be all the kills. That is going to be the Baron as well, eventually going to Shopify.
Shopify blow this game wide open. They know, they make the call. All right, yeah, fine, they can do Baron. Look how slow they're doing the Baron. Bvoy can poke them very heavily, and he vouchs, and just barely the angle on that charm doesn't tag Bvoy, and it just goes through to hit Seos instead, and Quad chunks so low, he's kind of on the back of the fight now. And then you see, once Contractz does get here after taking the Dragon, he goes for the engage onto Massu, but Massu does have flash, so he can live and kite the rest of the way. They still get the extra push though, and with the teleport back from Zinie, they know they can fit. Oh my goodness, that Mikhail's and the extra shield there. Fudge was on the brink of death, barely lived, and now it's their Baron to take.
Gryffinn is back up. He almost has the Stand United. Maybe they could look for a long chase here, but the Baron is gone, and Shen just now about to get that Stand United. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to go wide again. Massu unable to find Zinie, who just hops to the side there, easily dodges it. And now it is a 6,000 gold lead, and it is Soul on the table in 3 minutes here for Shopify. They are dominating this one, thanks largely to Bvoy, who is now working on that IE. He is ridiculously strong.
It is time we revisit your Corki Nami stats versus Ashe and Seraphine.
They are the 20%.
They are the 20%. They're going to show the stats nerds right now. Bvoy Corki is worth. He is built diff. Infinity Edge is going to be completed soon, so.
Just know, if they lose, it is your fault. But that was a crazy jinx. No extortion necessary.
True.
We'll see. But
I find humor in caster curses, though, you know, so.
They're close to closing this one out, and it looks like they should do it. Bvoy is just having a monster game. I want to see the damage done. I mean, I'm going to see if I can actually bring it up, because it has been crazy to see how much damage he is dealing. And I mean, he's got to be high at the top of the tables there. Fudge, they're going to look for him here. They're committing to this Ksante. It's going to take a long time to knock him down. He is charmed up. He is hit again by the Encore, but he's still at half health. And now Bvoy is arriving. Contractz into the backline. They're looking for Massu. Massu has got to run. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. The Stand United, the taunt. Contractz is the one to fall. But it is Zinie looking for Massu. Massu with a great sidestep. Pops the barrier, trying to survive. It's a double kill, though, for Bvoy. It's a triple kill now for Bvoy. It's a quadra kill now for Bvoy. But Fudge knocks him away. He may have just denied his teammate the penta there as he goes all out, pushes Quad to the blast cone. I think Fudge there working for the other side, denies the penta to his Corki. It might have been enough.
Quad is going to live another day. Corki just going to focus on winning the game. Go push mid lane instead. Get your recall off with the Baron. Shopify, though, feeling very, very good about putting the nail in FlyQuest coffin here for game number 2. This is very exciting to push us, if they can finish and push us to the next game. I mean, the Bvoy here, I got you with the damage stats here, though. Bvoy at the very top, 41.6K.
Holy, that's double the Ashe.
Ahri no flash. Yeah. It's fine, we should do infight.
I'm okay.
Look in.
Careful rumble.
Angle really good. I'm coming.
Yeah, we win, we win.
Yeah, we can't lose, can't lose.
Ashe no flash. Ashe 1 HP.
Ahri here. I'm dead. Ahri no Ashe no flash.
Penta, 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 penta.
No flash, Ahri.
Penta, 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 penta.
No flash,
Main.
Ahri.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Go mid.
Push mid, Bvoy.
Those are restrained teammates. I would have been flaming him.
Why did you ult him away from me? Penta, penta, penta.
Almost
I mean,
10K in a team fight? That is crazy.
I mean, I even started. I was like, I want to see a penta. All right, FlyQuest though.
That was a cool penta too. That wasn't one of those like last hit auto attack one time pentas.
Yeah, you can't say he's cleaning up.
He did 10,000 damage.
We just saw the damage down there. He's not cleaning up anything.
Brother did 10K in one fight. That is a penta deserved as Quad on a long flank here. The rest of Shopify just trying to zone FlyQuest away. Quad again, gonna look for this hero play here. When can they find it? Bvoy is gonna get tagged here. He does have the cleanse, but he gets charmed up. There's the equalizer, there's the encore. Bvoy barely surviving. They finish him off now. It's gonna be up to Cryogen, to Gakgos, to the rest of the team to try to get something done, but they don't have the damage. They committed everything to kill off Bvoy, and it cost them so much more. The Corki did fall, but they lose 4. They're about to lose 5 as Gryffinn gonna get chased down and killed. FlyQuest have lost this game. Shopify take it. They finally knocked down the Corki, but it just does not matter. Zinie and the rest of the team, the counter engage was more than good enough, and they're going to be able to walk this one in.
Shopify, count it 1 for the Rebellion.
Nicely done. Shopify going to be able to tie us up here 1-1. An incredible Corki game from Bvoy, even falling behind early, 15-2-5, 31 minutes on the clock. Massu and Cryogen respawn, but it's not going to matter. They just got to focus the Nexus. They do just that. They finish off the game. We're heading to game 3.
Ooh, that is a fun one. Game number 3. I mean, we both thought that FlyQuest had the better side of the draft, but Shopify, they get the kills. Nicely done. Bvoy was a huge Corki analyst. If you don't vote for him for player of the game,
Extortion.
we're going to extort you.
Bvoy! Under duress, Bvoy.
Yeah.